There have been many powerful warriors throughout the millennia. But ages of mortal combat have begun to tear the fabric of the realms. The critical point has finally been reached. It was foreseen that combatants would one day grow too powerful and too numerous. If left unchecked, their intensifying combat would weaken and shatter the realms and bring about the apocalypse. The Elder Gods demanded a safeguard be put in place to avoid total destruction. One that would make use of the combatants' insatiable bloodlust. Like moths to flame, they would be drawn to battle. At the apex of destruction, alliances will be broken. And old hatreds will be revived. Armageddon has begun.
Scorpion acts according to his own agenda. In Mortal Kombat Armageddon, his ultimate goal is to revive his clan and family, or find absolute vengeance against those who wronged him.
As the fire of Blaze was extinguished, what appeared in its place brought elation to Scorpion's tormented soul. His ninja clan, the Shirai Ryu, had been fully resurrected. Numbering in the thousands, they covered the surface of the pyramid awaiting Scorpion's command. Among them was Scorpion's wife and son. Their reunion was to be short-lived. The sorcerer Quan Chi suddenly appeared among them. He grabbed Scorpion's young son and disappeared through a portal to the Netherrealm. Enraged, Scorpion ordered his clan to hunt down the sorcerer. He will not rest until his son has been recovered and Quan Chi is dead.
A wandering Oni allied with Moloch. Draman was once a vicious landlord who found himself punished in the flames of hell after his death. Over the centuries, he has achieved the status of Oni Tormentor, and now practices his skills on the miserable souls of the fallen.
Draman wins. Fatality.
The energy of Blaze unlocked the life force residing within Draman's mask. Unable to remove it, Draman became possessed by it and grew to 3 times his original size. The power of the mask also fueled the rage within him. Unable to contain his fury, Draman turned on his former ally, Moloch, in an epic battle of demons. Moloch was defeated, but Draman's bloodlust has only just begun.
Frost.
A student of Lin Kuei Grandmaster Sub-Zero, Frost is a formidable young warrior. Her powers of cryomancy are extremely advanced for one so young. Headstrong and driven, her abilities are eclipsed only by her overconfidence.
Frost wins. Fatality.
Her strength increased. Frost once again took the Dragon Medallion from Sub-Zero and enhanced her freezing power far beyond her former mentors. Traveling to Outworld, she located the tomb of her ancestors, the Cryomancers, and planted their souls in the bodies of the current Lin Kuei. Her army of Cryomancers conquered the realms, leaving each of them a frozen wasteland.
After Onaga was defeated and separated from Reptile's body by Nightwolf, Reptile regained control of himself. Free from the Dragon King's influence, he reverted to his previous physical state. Under the command of the sorcerer Quan Chi, he is ordered to guard the injured dragon Kero, whom the Red Dragon clan had enslaved to create teleportation portals.
As the shockwave caused by Blaze's death rattled the surrounding crater, the pyramid on which Reptile stood began to crumble. A fissure opened to reveal a sarcophagus of familiar design. Reptile unlocked the curious artifact to find a female Zaterran. As she awoke, Reptile felt himself slowly reverting back to his humanoid form. The glory of Zaterra will return once more.
Ermac.
The enigmatic Ermac is a being composed of the souls of conquered Outworld warriors. For many years he served at the side of Shao Kahn, but has since freed himself from the Emperor's influence. Once a force of evil, he now controls his own destiny.
The energy of Blaze shattered Ermac, separating him into the many warriors who comprised his being. Now each with his own physical form, the Ermacs are linked psychically and act according to their collective consciousness. No longer a mere fusion of warrior souls, Ermac has become an army.
Dairu.
After his family was murdered, Dairu's hunger for revenge allowed him to be tricked into killing an innocent man. Now the former Satan guardsman works alone as a mercenary. He takes assignments where he can find them, whether they are noble or not.
The fire of blaze enveloped Dairu and formed around him a golden suit of armor. Enraged, Shao Kahn attacked, but the armor scorched his body with every blow. Dairu defeated the Emperor and claimed Outworld for himself. Under his rule, Outworld once again became the majestic realm it had been in ages past. Convinced of his good nature, Edenia and Earthrealm forged an alliance with Dairu that would ensure peace and stability forever.
Sub-Zero continues his role as the Grand Master of the reformed Lin Kuei clan. He has dedicated his life to defending Earthrealm and distancing his clan from its dark past as ruthless assassins.
Sub-Zero wins. Fatality.
The Dragon Medallion, having amplified the godlike power granted him by his victory over Blaze, Sub-Zero was no longer a mere warrior, but an ice god. He was, however, a false god. He had become a deity without the consent of the Elder Gods, who sent their champions to hunt him down and destroy him.
Fujin.
When Raiden was accepted into the pantheon of the Elder Gods, Fujin replaced him as protector of Earthrealm. Fujin's wisdom is matched only by his ferocity in battle.
Finish him! Fujin wins. Deadly fatality.
As the energy of Blaze coursed through Fujin, it transformed the Wind God into a storm of justice. His power increased exponentially. He created a new realm from the shattered remnants of worlds that had fallen victim to Shao Kahn's aggression. From there, the forces of light will stage their operations, with Kung Lao as Fujin's commanding general.
A denizen of Chaos Realm, Havoc despises order and sees it as a threat to everything in which he believes. His mission is to create mayhem and further unravel the fabric of life. He will also destroy anyone who seeks to control others.
Havoc wins.
Infused with the power of Blaze, the cleric of Chaos, Havoc, became Chaos incarnate. His aura corrupted the stability of the realms, causing them to rip, tear, and reshape in grotesque ways. Soon, nothing remained that resembled the former universe. Havoc's dream had been realized. Ultimate chaos had been achieved.
Kabal serves as the ruthless leader of the newly reformed Black Dragon clan. After being betrayed and left for dead by Movado, leader of the rival Red Dragon clan in previous events, Kabal was saved by the Chaos cleric Havoc. This near-death experience warped his mind, causing him to abandon his past heroic path and fully embrace a life of crime and anarchy once again.
Fatality.
The heat of Blaze wrapped itself around Kabal's hook swords and transformed them into fiery blades of vengeance. Crossing them above his head, Kabal challenged Movado atop the pyramid, seeking to end their rivalry once and for all. In an epic hook sword battle, Movado could not withstand the fury of Kabal and his enhanced weapons. Never one to admit defeat, Movado took his own life by performing harakiri. Standing atop the pyramid, Cabal raised Movado's severed head high so all would know of the Black Dragon clan's superiority.
Suhao's strength is matched only by his treachery. For years, this Red Dragon spy worked as a member of the Outworld Investigation Agency alongside Sonya and Jax. Upon receiving orders from Movado, Suhao revealed himself as betrayer and destroyed the headquarters of OIA.
Deadly fatality.
Killed in the shockwave of Blaze's violent death, Suhao's corrupt soul descended into the Netherrealm. As his soul began to regain a physical body, Suhao became his true self, a demon of emptiness and desolation. Leading an Oni horde, he defeated Shinnok and his minions. He now sits upon the throne of the Netherrealm.
Jarek.
Long thought to be the last remaining member of the Black Dragon, Jarek had served as Kano's second-in-command. After his master's apparent death, Jarek fled to Adinia. Shinnok's attempt to take control of the realm seemed to leave him no other choice, and so Jarek joined forces with his sworn enemies, Sonya Blade and Jackson Briggs.
Mortal fatality.
The power of Blaze drew chi from all the combatants and funneled it into Jarek. He suddenly felt as if death itself were guiding his actions. Laughing maniacally, he sealed off the crater and unleashed a storm of fatalities upon his fellow warriors. None could escape the maelstrom of deadly energy. When at last the tempest abated, Sub-Zero's spine lay quivering next to Kano's still beating heart. An armless Jax knelt beside the two halves of Kung Lao's body. Jarek had finished them all.
Unlike many combatants who fought for power, revenge, or to save their realms, Chameleon remained a complete enigma during the events of Mortal Kombat Armageddon. For years, he had been a silent observer, using his camouflage abilities to remain completely undetected. He sought an opportunity to finally step out of the shadows and make the entire universe fear and acknowledge his presence. He saw the massive clash at the pyramid as the perfect opportunity to fulfill his ambition.
Finish him.
As the battle raged, Chameleon camouflaged himself and raced to the top of the pyramid unseen. There he defeated Blaze and the ethereal power overtook him. Immortality was now his. Though he had been ever-present throughout the crises of the realms, from Liu Kang's first victory to the return of the Dragon King, he had remained hidden from sight, waiting for his moment to come. That moment had arrived. From this day forth, the realms will know Chameleon as the true champion of Mortal Kombat.
Once a member of the White Lotus Society, Kai trained under the instruction of Liu Kang. His tutelage complete, Kai wanders the world on a quest of self-enlightenment.
The power of Blaze opened Kai's mind, and he became psychically linked to the One Being. He could see the One Being's dreams, from which all of reality is formed. In deep meditation, Kai allowed his mind to wander the realms in search of knowledge. He witnessed the rise of Shao Kahn and his eventual demise at the hand of Liu Kang, the return of the Dragon King, and the final battle at the pyramid. But when Kai looked to the future, he saw nothing.
Longtime bodyguard to Outworld royalty, Kintaro has served Shao Kahn for many years. Like Goro, he is a member of the four-armed Shao Kahn race and descends from a lineage known for its brutality.
Upon defeating Blaze, a thunderous voice offered Kintaro 4 magic swords. Each would be infused with the power of any warrior of his choosing. Kintaro resolved to give the weapons the powers of fire, ice, chaos, and order. As if wielded by invisible hands, each blade found its victim and slew him. The vanquished souls were transferred to the weapons, and there they will reside. With the powers of Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Havoc, and Hotaru at his command, none will challenge Kintaro and live.
Noob Saibot continues his dark crusade to build a personal army in the Netherrealm. He remains entirely stripped of his human compassion, driven only by a desire to rule. In previous events, he had taken control of Cyborg Smoke to serve as his ultimate companion and puppet. Noob Saibot and Smoke launch a massive invasion against the Lin Kuei Palace. Their objective is to use Smoke's advanced nanotechnology to create an unstoppable army of cyber demons.
Noob Saibot wins. Fatality.
With a flash, Blaze was defeated, and Noob Saibot found he was no longer standing atop the ancient pyramid, but in the center of a darkened arena. From the shadows, a figure slowly emerged. It was Sub-Zero, the warrior Noob had been before being slain by Scorpion. Sub-Zero had come to regain control of their divided soul. The two clashed, but neither could best the other. In the end, what emerged was a being that was neither Noob Saibot nor Sub-Zero, but something new.
Cobra.
Once Cobra was nothing more than a street thug on his way to jail. Though extremely adept at martial arts, he used his skills for intimidation and cruelty. Freed by Cabal and Kira in a daring attack on the police, Cobra was asked to join the newly reformed Black Dragon clan, where his brutal nature would be an invaluable asset.
Because of his victory over Blaze, Cobra's strength was increased 1,000-fold. Emboldened, he demanded the Elder Gods declare him Lord of the Realms. They assented, but added that no lord should be without his lady. Cobra chose Kira to rule at his side, and the Elder Gods transformed her into a goddess of death. With a kiss, Kira extinguished Cobra's life force and reduced his body to dust. Let all who would make demands of the Elder Gods beware.
Fighting for the freedom of her enslaved people, Li Mei was trained by Shujinko in the art of combat. Now she is a formidable warrior who battles for her people and for persecuted souls everywhere.
Li Mei wins. Fatality.
Filled with the energy of Blaze, Li Mei had but one purpose for her newfound power. In retribution for slaying her people, she banished the souls of Quan Chi and Shang Tsung to an obelisk. Trapped inside the relic, they must fend off wave after wave of aggressors for eternity. Justice has finally been done.
Smoke is bound to the command of Noob Saibot. Years prior, after being captured and automated into a cyborg by his own clan, Smoke's inert body was locked away in Shao Kahn's fortress. He was eventually found and reprogrammed by Noob Saibot to serve as an eternal, mindless minion.
Noob Smoke wins.
Smoke's power lies in his nanobot technology. Microscopic machines course through his veins, constantly repairing and altering his being. But when infused with the power of Blaze, his nanobots took on a life of their own. Multiplying at an exponential rate, they were soon numerous enough to consume Edenia, transforming the entire realm into a mass of sentient gray material that calls itself Smoke.
After being freed from Onaga's control through the combined efforts of Ermac and the spirit of Liu Kang, Kitana prepared to return to Edenia. On her way, she encountered the fire elemental Blaze. Blaze warned her of a new catastrophic conflict brewing that would threaten the existence of all realms, and told her she must gather her forces to face it.
Absorbing the power of Blaze, Kitana attained a psychic connection with the Elder Gods and became their champion. To preserve the integrity of the realms, she formed an all-female fighting force whose members included Sindel, Jade, Sonya, and Li Mei. Together, they laid waste to the forces of darkness and trapped them in the Netherrealm forever.
Liu Kang.
The former champion of Mortal Kombat and member of the White Lotus Society, Liu Kang was murdered by Shang Tsung. He now exists as a living corpse, fueled by vengeance.
Finish him.
The power released by Blaze's destruction reunited Liu Kang's body and soul. Whole once more and possessing the power of a god, he confronted Raiden, who had been corrupted by his suicide. Liu Kang reluctantly defeated his mentor in an epic clash. With consent of the Elder Gods, he replaced Raiden as protector of Earthrealm.
During the build-up to the final apocalypse, Cyrax allied himself with the forces of light. He marched to the massive Battle of Armageddon at the base of the Pyramid of Argus.
When he defeated Blaze, elemental powers surged through Cyrax and shattered his cybernetics. He was human once again. He allied with Sub-Zero, and with him confronted the cyborgs Smoke and Sector. In an epic battle of men versus machines, Cyrax and Sub-Zero defeated their longtime foes. The cyborgs will be reprogrammed to serve the Lin Kuei once more, until they too can be reverted to their human forms.
Mileena explains that she seized control of Shao Kahn's fortress while disguised as Kitana, intending to rule Outworld by manipulating Edenian forces. However, her plans were disrupted when Shao Kahn returned to retake the fortress, aided by Goro and Shang Tsung.
Wins.
For an instant, the power of Blaze united Mileena and Kitana. When the energy dissipated, Mileena had become beautiful, but Kitana was horrified to find her mouth filled with elongated, razor-sharp teeth. The change in her appearance allowed Mileena to pose as Kitana and finally take her rightful place on the throne of Edenia. She imprisoned Kitana, who went mad in the palace dungeon.
Leader of the resistance in the realm of order, Darius lives a life in the shadows. His ambition is to overthrow the oppressive regime that strangles freedom. To some, he is a hero, but to others, he is nothing more than a terrorist.
Upon defeating Blaze, the pyramid shrank and transformed into a golden ring. The ring granted Darius access to my vault, wherein lay the treasure rightfully due my sons Taven and Dagon. The powerful artifacts allowed Darius to finally defeat Hotaru and conquer the Realm of Order. But the items were meant only for my lineage to wield. I have now sent Taven and Dagon on yet another quest. They must work together to defeat Darius and retrieve what he has stolen.
Mavado.
A leader of the Red Dragon clan, Mavado has undertaken a ruthless campaign of extermination against his rivals, the Black Dragon. Scouring the realms for his sworn enemies, Mavado vows that he will not rest until every last trace of the Black Dragon has been erased.
Mavado felt the fire of Blaze awaken something within him. Focusing his mind, he found he could control anyone bearing the Red Dragon symbol. Telepathically guiding his clan in battle, Mavado quickly subdued the Special Forces and the Black Dragon clan. He then tattooed their faces with the mark of the Red Dragon so they too would serve him. As his forces grew, Mavado gained full control of Earthrealm.
Chameleon is, as far as we know, the only female survivor of the raptor race. It's the same race as Reptile is from. Her realm and her entire race was destroyed by Shao Kahn like a long time ago. Her main goal in life is to destroy Shao Kahn for that.
Drinking in the power of Blaze, Chameleon's eyes glowed as she focused her wrath on Shao Kahn. The Emperor would finally pay for destroying Zatira, and so too would those who served him. The pain he endured during his transformation was excruciating, and Shao Kahn, for the first time in his life, pleaded for mercy. She granted him none. Chameleon's power transformed Shao Kahn into a raptor, powerful like her, but subservient to her wishes. She then turned her attention to his allies, and they too were transformed. But she lost control of her newfound power and mistakenly mutated the forces of light as well. Chameleon now had at her command an army of powerful raptor warriors. The might of Zatira had finally returned.
Nightwolf acts as a shamanic warrior who corrupts his own soul to act as a sin eater to defeat Onaga, later returning to Earthrealm to battle Shinnok and the forces of darkness. After freeing himself from the Netherrealm, he returned to Earthrealm through the Spirit World, where the ancients warned him of a coming storm, the Armageddon conflict.
The power Nightwolf received from Blaze carried him to the Spirit World, an existence between realms from which shamanic power originates. He became a living ghost, the ultimate shaman. Nightwolf found his ally, Liu Kang, lost in the spirit energy, and guided him back to the physical world. Nightwolf then reunited Liu Kang with his body.
a demon or Oni. Moloch is a creature known more for his strength than his intellect. Astoundingly powerful and remarkably cruel, this hulking brute takes pure delight in the pain and suffering of others, especially if he has caused that pain.
The Oni destroyer Moloch absorbed the gift of godlike power from Blaze and was transformed into a destroyer of worlds. In a gesture symbolic of his new power, he slammed his fist against the pyramid, completely shattering the structure. Moloch then laid waste to Edenia, transforming it into a barren wasteland not unlike the Netherrealm. Because he destroyed the Edenian portals, however, Moloch was trapped there, a victim of his own destructive rage.
Johnny Cage becomes a more serious hero, moving past his narcissistic Hollywood stereotype to protect the world. He plays a vital role in organizing the Earthrealm warriors for the final battle against the forces of darkness, including Shinnok and the Deadly Alliance.
Johnny Cage wins.
Johnny Cage defeated Blaze, and the power of the gods rushed through him. He gained superior strength and dexterity, but more important, a new insight into his existence. With the help of Shaolin masters, he renounced his superficial former life and became enlightened.
After successfully saving Kitana, Jade joined the forces of light at the Battle of Armageddon to stop the ultimate destruction of the realms.
Defeated, Blaze transferred godlike power to Jade and instructed her to make true that which she most desired. As if controlled by some divine force, she let out a tremendous shriek that split open the pyramid. As she inhaled, the forces of darkness were sucked inside the ancient structure. It then resealed itself, trapping them there for eternity. Jade was celebrated as a hero, and the pyramid stood as a reminder to those who would threaten Edenia.
Motaro.
As leader of Shao Kahn's extermination squads, Motaro proved to the Emperor the Centaur's superiority over the Shokan. During the invasion of Earthrealm, he slew many combatants before they could oppose Shao Kahn's rule. He will slay many more in the battle to come.
Flames lashed at Motaro's body as Blaze released his energy. The searing pain consumed Motaro as he staggered about the top of the pyramid. When at last the fire dissipated, Motaro felt the familiar sensation of walking on 4 legs. He had undone the curse that had transformed his centaur race into minotaurs. With renewed purpose, Motaro vowed that the Shokan would pay dearly for their treachery.
Seeking to prevent further disasters, Sonya sent Jax to lead a special forces unit to search for survivors after destroying Sector's Tekkanen warship. However, his unit vanished, and Sonya feared Jax might have perished.
Jax wins. Fatality.
When Jax absorbed the power of Blaze, the cybernetics in his arms grew and permeated his entire body. He was transformed into a full cyborg. He became aware of a controlling neural chip that had been implanted in his brain by Sector. Enraged, Jax defeated Sector and claimed leadership of the cyborg ninja clan, the Dakunin. It is unknown if he will ever return to the Special Forces.
Nitara.
A A vampire from a forgotten realm, Netara fights to keep her homeworld independent. Years ago, her realm was fused with Outworld, throwing it into chaos. Now that her home has been freed, she struggles to maintain its fragile stability.
The gift of godlike power transformed Netara into a blood god. Horrified, the combatants fled from the pyramid, but none were spared her wrath. Beginning with Shao Kahn, she mutated each of them into her vampire slaves. With the most powerful warriors in the universe at her command, Netara and her unstoppable army easily conquered the realms.
After defeating Onaga, the Dragon King, Shujinko was briefly hailed as a hero of Outworld. However, his victory was bittersweet, as he realized he had been manipulated by Onaga for decades. Feeling responsible for the chaos he inadvertently caused, Shujinko joined the forces of light at the Battle of Armageddon.
The power of Blaze drew chi from each of the combatants and fused it with Shujinko's soul. Though the battle was over, a new threat arose. One warrior now possessed the powers and abilities of them all. Shujinko went mad with power. After slaying all present, he embarked on a new quest. He would challenge the Elder Gods for control of the realms.
Ashra is a demon from the Netherrealm who discovered a holy Chris blade named Datusha. She believed by slaying evil demons with the sword, her soul would be purified, allowing her to escape hell. Ashra joined the forces of light at the Battle of Armageddon, hoping to use Blaze's power to reach ultimate ascension into a being of light.
The power of Blaze purified Ashra completely. She was transformed into a being of divine light. Her radiance soothed even the darkest of souls. With new purpose, she traversed the realms in search of evil, pacifying the wicked. Her mission came full circle when at last she purified the sorcerer who would have her slain, Quan Chi.
Centuries ago, before the rule of Shao Kahn, Outworld was controlled by Onaga, the Dragon King. Recently, Onaga has found his way back to Outworld and is attempting to reclaim his former empire by any means necessary.
The forces of darkness defeated Blaze, and the Dragon King seized the prize for himself, attaining ultimate power. He immediately focused his wrath upon the one being he despised most, Shao Kahn. Long ago, Shao Kahn had stolen Outworld from him. Now Onaga would repay that treachery. Shao Kahn was beaten to the point of death, but Onaga would not see him die so quickly. He ordered Quan Chi and Shang Tsung to deal with the former emperor. While Onaga reclaimed his throne, Shao Kahn remained a captive in his own dungeon, tortured by those who had once pledged to him their allegiance.
Bo Rai Cho is originally from Outworld. He chose to fight for Earthrealm because he despised the tyranny of Shao Kahn. During the final battle at the Pyramid of Argus, he joined the forces of light to prevent the destruction of the realms.
That's a stinky one. Upon defeating Blaze, Boraicho was transported to the heavens. He stood before me, a humble warrior unsure of his fate in the presence of a god. I had looked into his soul and found that he was a good man and a powerful warrior. Outworld needed a protector, a task for which Boraicho had more than proven himself worthy. At my request, the Elder Gods breathed their life force into him, transforming the once humble warrior into a god. Boraicho had become protector of Outworld.
Rain.
Although the blood of Edenian royalty flows through his veins, Rain is a traitor to his realm. When faced with the prospect of death at the hands of Shao Kahn, he offered his allegiance to the Emperor and betrayed his homeland.
The half-brother of Taven and Dagon, Rain absorbed the power of Blaze and became a full god. I had not anticipated that the victor would be the son whose true identity I have hidden for so long. I bestowed the title of Protector of Edenia on Rain, but my pride in my son was misplaced. He uses his power to enslave Edenia, and now that I have ascended to Elder God status, I am forbidden to stop him.
Meat is an incomplete construct from Shang Tsung's flesh pits. He escaped before he could be completed, and that's why he looks like a big chunk of meat.
Meat was an experiment who escaped Shang Tsung's flesh pits before he could be completely formed. As the other combatants fought, Meat rushed unseen to the top of the pyramid and defeated Blaze. Godlike energy enveloped him, giving him the power to shapeshift. With the ability to become anyone, Meat lost his sense of identity and disappeared into obscurity.
Upon learning of Shinnok's return and the impending battle at the Pyramid of Argus, Kenshi joined the forces of light for one final stand.
The fire of Blaze burned away the curse responsible for Kenshi's blindness. Not only was his sight restored, but he gained increased sensitivity in his other senses as well. As time went on, however, he found the sensory bombardment unbearable. Kenshi retreated to a remote mountain cavern where he remains isolated in a darkened, soundless chamber.
Sindel eventually succeeded in liberating Kitana from the evil influence of the Dragon King Onaga, and together they sought to restore peace to Edenia. But the new threat of the Battle of Armageddon is coming. Sindel joined the forces of light at the Pyramid of Argus to protect the realms from total destruction.
Sindel.
With the power of a god coursing through her, Sindel chose to undo the murder of her husband, Jade, at the hands of Shao Kahn. Reaching into the heavens, she pulled his soul back to Edenia and made him flesh once more. The reunited Jade, Sindel, and Kitana formed the Triad of the Just to protect the realms from tyrants like Shao Kahn.